Hey guys, it's DevGMR and welcome to another complete game development video. So for the past few days, I was coming up with a decent strategy for continuing to make progress with Unity. There's so many different paths that could be taken. I could start a simple Pong game, a platformer, maybe even a simple FPS. Then there comes the whole question of whether the game could be in 2D or 3D. I could keep working on the Unity Learn tutorials, which wouldn't be too difficult of an option considering there's literally endless tutorials and they're all ready to go within a few seconds. Unity did a great job preparing everything and packaging it up. Or I could take a completely different approach as well. There were really a lot of things to consider when I was deciding what path I could take, and I knew at the end of the day the strategy I decided to follow was going to make a huge difference in my progress. I really didn't want to be stuck doing something boring or start working on something that takes a stupid amount of time and effort and doesn't really give anything to show for at the end of the day. Having said that, I decided to take some time and browse through online resources and see what people were doing to learn Unity. First stop naturally was YouTube. I browsed through all kinds of videos where people were showcasing their work from Unity. Some of the projects were really simple, pretty much on the lines of a stick figure moving from point A to point B with no other real features. Now on the other hand, some of the projects were much bigger. The ones that seemed really interesting to me were the 2D adventure games. They brought up memories of older generation Pokemon and Zelda games. A little bit of nostalgia is always a good thing. My next step in research was pretty simple. I pulled up Google and searched up anything I could related to Unity and modern game development. Some of the results were amazing. I'm talking next-gen graphics and gameplay that would leave most people sitting at a computer screen for hours on end. Games like this are a little bit beyond my current scope though. The amount of resources it would take to put out a AAA level game would probably make a multimillionaire blush. Finally, now that I had an idea of what could be done with Unity, I decided it would be best to take a structured approach to learning, i.e. through an online course. If I decided to freehand my way through my game development experience, a lot of problems could come up. For starters, I wouldn't be able to find resources as easily to solve my problems. I'm pretty time limited and spending hours looking through documentation or begging people to help me with the solution on Stack Overflow would just be too slow. Another problem that could come up is direction. Writer's block in creative programming is a pretty real thing. Suppose I started making a simple game and wanted to add features. I'd have to spend time thinking up features and developing ideas for how they could fit in my game. I understand that this whole creative and integrative aspect is huge for game development, but I want to concentrate my time on really getting to grips with using Unity. That way, once I do decide to make a game, I'll be able to go full send. Having decided to take a structured learning approach through an online course, it was back to the drawing board. I need to figure out what I wanted to learn and how much I was willing to pay to learn it. Online courses can be really difficult to sift through. There's different websites that all offer different courses that cover different topics for different prices. To make things a little easier, I decided to stick to courses that are available on Udemy. I'm not affiliated with Udemy, but I've purchased several courses through their website and can vouch for the great value that they provide. Finally, I boiled my criteria down to a few main things. 1. How easy or difficult is the course? I'm not willing to throw myself into the inferno just yet, but I still want something challenging. This meant looking for a course that spent a shorter amount of time covering the basics and moved into the nitty-gritty details pretty quickly. 2. Is the course easy to follow and understand? I could typically find this out by looking at the course syllabus and watching the free introductory videos. Another thing that's often overlooked is how well you can understand the course instructor. Finding an articulate instructor makes a huge difference. 3. How is the course structured? I wanted to find a course where I could create several smaller projects that increased in difficulty over time. The feeling of achievement after finishing a smaller project, for example 8 to 10 hours, is great and helps me keep going with the course. So with this criteria in mind, I spent some time searching through relevant Udemy courses. I expected there to be a pretty large amount of courses available specific to game development and Unity, but I was almost blown away by how many there actually were. A simple search using the Unity keyword returned over 5,000 results. Since it would be almost impossible to go through each of the results individually, I decided to sort my search by the highest rating, anything 4.5 stars and up, as well as the course duration. I typically don't sort by duration, but in this case, I figured more course time could equate to more projects. Luckily, I was somewhat right and I came across a complete C# Unity Developer 3D course. The course offered teaching C# from scratch and an excellent general knowledge of video game development using Unity. I have a bit of experience with C# already, so this will be a great chance to brush up on my skills. The course is also rated as a bestseller with over 90,000 students enrolled. Those are some pretty hard statistics to overlook. After taking a peek through the course content, I also really appreciated the structure of the course. There were 5 main projects, and they offered the opportunity to explore the development of different types of games, including FPSs and tower defense. So, after a few hours of deliberation, I decided to purchase the course and settle down into the next steps of my complete game development journey. I'm really excited with the approach I'm taking and can't wait to get started. Thanks everyone for watching this video. Remember to hit the like button and subscribe to keep up with my progress.